There we go. Good morning. Good morning. Mech, you are first. Brilliant. Oh. How's it going? You alright? So, I've got... what have I got? So, I've got the chat over here. I'm going to bring it here. Maybe not. So yes, no, I did a few tweaks to the live show. So now, add. There it is. I sorted my little kind of chat thing out. So we've got the nice coloured border, and there's Smart Alec. Morning. What's on the plan today? I have no idea what's on the plan today. Actually, sort my hair out a bit. That's weird. I've got in-ears and I would wear those, and then I wouldn't have the hair issues. But the sound, even though they're really good in-ears with separate woofers for the subs and everything, they're just not as good as headphones. So I didn't actually have anything really planned for today. I was, well, actually, no. I was originally going to just do an actual talk, but I might do that tomorrow. I haven't fully decided. So we've done a lot of playing, but actually I fancy playing today. But the idea was today or tomorrow, not today, tomorrow, I was going to do a little talk just on the conditions of success. So I know we've kind of in the past, way back January, I think I talked about each part of this in detail separately, but conditions of success basically are habits, environment, decisions, insight, analysis. I'll be talking about overcoming boredom, fear, and skills, community, and I think there's one other thing I need to add to that, which I might not have done last year, and that's focus as well. Like, so how to focus. And I thought that would be just like a quick overview would be quite helpful for everybody, because I think the world's really distracting, to be honest, at the minute. I think there's a lot going on, and I think and we're busy and we do jobs and we've got families and we've got all these kind of things, and basically if you did 1% of any of this, you'd be in good shape on your instruments and music production, without a doubt. But yes, so the hair. Yeah, a good hair is a must. Yeah, absolutely. So it's funny because like now I've got the little kind of chat box up. It looks really, really good, doesn't it? And Thomas had to show me how to do that, because me, if I can't work something out straight away, it'll not get done. Because I'm busy, I'm on to the next thing. So like the chat was like, for some reason, like the text was in a weird colour and it was never the right size, but now it's got a nice border, where I've tried to match the colours of the room. The other thing I've got, which is handy because you'll not be necessarily aware of this, but I have a prompter which is on the camera, and I never use it as a prompter, but it actually doubles up as a monitor, so I can see the exact shot that I want. That's how I kind of line these up. And I put the crosshair on, because one thing with the prompter is you can't see where the lens is, but like now, if I point, where I'm pointing now is exactly, literally where the lens is. So now, hopefully, when I'm looking in the camera, and you can confirm this, I should be looking into the lens. So, a bit more engaging. There's always these little improvements. Talking of which, guitar playing, that's what we're going to do today. How to get better on guitar. That's the question. That's what I want to know. Without absolutely boring yourself to death. Well, I think the answer for me has definitely been live looping. It's now, I mean, yesterday I was using it as part of my practice as well. There we go. Oh, stiff as anything today. Get these hands warmed up. They just don't want to move today, these hands of mine. So, what's everybody been up to? So, what have you got planned this week? Anybody got any exciting things to look forward to or to do? Right, what's this tune do? Ooh. I'm learning a Frank. Oh, get this bigger. I'm learning a Frank Zappa tune. It's kicking my arse, but getting smoother after a big session yesterday. Brilliant. Excellent, smart Alec. But I would say consistency is the key. So what I'm trying to work on here, just as I'm warming up, is just my pick planting. And that's just as you know, it's how far the pick's travelling off the strings, really. I want to keep it as close as possible. Economy of motion. And that's a really good exercise there, actually. It's I think that's it's a Yingwi thing, isn't it? But I can't remember which tune it is. It's off the Odyssey album, isn't it? And he does that run at the end of the song. But this bit's really good. But it's quite the note grouping's really odd, even though you're just going up and down. It's like 6s and 5s. But it's really good for the planting. Just doing that. So, like, what's hard about that is, like, I'm doing it with an economy picking, but you've got descending, you've got an inside motion. If you were doing alternate picking, it's a lot harder because you've got to do, you'd start this lick potentially outside. Oh, okay, man. Then inside, outside, inside. So it's quite hard keeping it consistent. Whereas that just sounds more consistent to me. So just a bit of nerdy information there. Right, I need to know what this bass is down there. Oh god, what's that? Let's have a look. Cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, metronomes are good, but they absolutely do my head in after a while. Like, if I've got something I'm really learning, like, early on, then I'll use a metronome. Otherwise, what I like to do is just jam track all the way, and then you practice it in contacts. The advantage of a jam track is, you know, you could take one of these licks and you can put it into a musical context straight away, you know. So it might be that yeah, you can add like a little lick at the end. But not like that. That's just my brain farting. Right, drums. Right, whatever drums we've got, we'll just go with, and then I'll change them a bit. Cool. Try and build a harmony bit. It's a bit better now. Something funky. Maybe ambient. That's nice. Again. Hi, Gramps. Right, I'll come back to the chat there. Right, try and think of something here. Right, right. Something like that will do. But played right. Yeah, we can build it up a bit. We can build it up. Take that off. Take that off. Take that off. Don't know if like talking to yourself on a live stream. Oh, there's Des. It's a good thing, but I've started doing it. But there we go. Need a bit more reverb on this guitar. On delay maybe. That's what this sounds like. just stop it there, I suppose. Right. Alright, let's have a look at the chat. Right, I've got to catch up here. Mech149, you should send Hutch a track for shred action. That could be a good idea, actually. I wonder what would happen. It's an experiment, isn't it? I I was watching the replay of the last McRocklin Hutch about 20 minutes in. My wife goes, "What's the point of this show?" Oh dear, not to worry. Yeah, that's basically what mine says. There's no lyrics. There's like no words. It's not a song, is it? It's like the song's without any words. It's all wrong. I've had that before. Why is there no singing on your tracks? Crazy tapping there. I can't remember tapping. What did I tap? Hi, Des. Des is the quality control guitar officer of this channel. It must be an inspection, Des, is it? Making sure standards are kept. Alright. Gramps, my work is dark and hungry. I know my place. I like cheerful, easygoing music, but I cannot write it. Hey, Fernando. How's it hanging? How you doing? So anybody who... I tell you what, I kind of do the chat here. It's like ridiculous. I need to be looking more over here. So anybody here who hasn't subscribed to the channel, do subscribe, please. I'm building this channel up. And hey, I tell you what, I'm getting close to 1,000. I still need my watch hours building up, and then I can get ads and things like that and actually make a bit of money out of my YouTube channel. That would be good. However, it's not the main focus. The main focus is the fact that I run a coaching business, and if anybody would like music coaching to, well, primarily help them make absolutely tons of really good quality music, then this is the place to be. The coaching groups is the thing. I just need you to email me, and then we can have a quick a Zoom chat to see if it's a good fit for your needs and purposes and things like that. And then if you go for it, it's 2 hours a week that we meet on a Zoom call in a group of 4, and I take you through some music making exercises that will give you amazing insight into your process and show you where you need to improve, and then I will help you improve. But there is no point, you see, as I always say, there's no point, right, in fixing problems you don't have. What you need to do is fix problems that you encounter. As you encounter them, that's how we get better, and that's how we, one of the ways that we develop our unique style. Any hymn songs? No, I don't actually cover rock songs. I'd also get a copyright strike probably on here. So I don't do... Mind you, this has always been the thing with me, and I know Thomas is the same. I've never really learned, unless it was ever a paid job, a song, right? Like fully all the way through. I've spent pretty much all of my life, apart from when I was learning classical guitar, like, I mean, there'll have been the odd piece that I've done, but I think I've spent most of my life writing my own music, and listening to other artists and going, oh, I like that little bit there, I'm going to have that, and then kind of just learning sort of what it is they were doing, and then working out how I could use it and how I could kind of repurpose it into my playing. Why do I look like Joe from Def Leppard? Why do I look like Joe from Def Leppard? I don't know. Totally different mothers and totally different places in the UK. I don't know. We could have a scientific investigation. What do you think, Metal Rocker? Maybe. Well, we might have come along both at the same time from the same Norse tribe back in the Viking era. You know, fighting the Saxons and then settling in Britain. That could have been kind of what happened. Maybe you know, we were distantly related back then. And then I just, you know, I don't know, ended up in a different shire. Also dressed up as Kirk. Oh my god! Right, like okay, it's just like I don't know about the Kirk thing. I can't scientifically answer that because he's like, well, maybe he was here and then you know moved to America, back in the day. But like it's not intentional. It's just that's how it happens, and I happen to have bobbed hair, and I happen to like dye it, and that's it. You know, I don't go. Oh, and today I'm going to be a Kurt Cobain lookalike. It's just that's how I look, you know. And I like that. Actually, I think he looks cool, so I just go with it, you know. I don't know about if I'm dressed up as Kurt. I mean, the hair's similar. I don't know about the jacket. And I was really into grunge actually when it was a thing. Yeah, send something over, Mac. Thank you, Fernando. Yeah, the watch hours have to go up. Yeah, I need like another, I don't know, 1,000 or something. But it's hard, isn't it? They don't make it easy. Right, what have we got here? Lots of crying. Right, okay, crying and laughing. A shire. Oh no, have I got to explain what the shire is? I don't know actually if shires were a thing back then. Well, a shire is a medieval village, town. That's what a shire is. And everybody would be separated into shires. I can't. I'd have to look this up to like work out to find out how it was actually organised. But yeah, we'll have shires. And basically, if you were a peasant, you were bound to your shire, and the only people who could leave the shire were the Freemasons. And the Freemasons were called the Freemasons not because they were like the Illuminati or anything like that. It was because they were free to leave the shire because they had this skill in masonry to work on castles and cathedrals and churches. So they were very sought after, and they were allowed to go and do things. Play some more guitar. I just got here. Sound good, man. Thank you. Yes, I'm going to play some more guitar. It's a headless guitar. The tuners are at the bottom, bit like a violin. You would wage close to Def Leppard. Say, right, I know why you're saying that is because my hair's flat on top, and it's got this weird centre parting. I've seen a picture of him. because my hair's just not right. It's like, it's not with these headphones. And I certainly wouldn't go in a hairdresser asking for that hair. It's really hard getting your hair right though in the morning. Right. So, guitar, headless guitar. All right. Now we have Kurt. Except he didn't shred, did he? He wasn't a shredder. Oh, hold on. Gotta control myself. Right. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna try sitting like this for a change. Right, what shall I do? Gonna think of something. We'll have a mess about on something. I'll do one more with these drums. Just removing the lead from under the wah-wah. I love the unpredictability of that. Oh, we'll chop it up. There we go. There we go. Nice ending there. Right. Whew, how was that? So, any music related questions? Got to have some questions. That's why I'm here. So I'm just gonna have a coffee and work out what I'm gonna do next. So we'll come over here, I think. There we go. Just out of interest, in case anybody asks, Gate Lab is what I used to chop that guitar up, that guitar where it was all choppy. That's what I use, and believe it or not, it is absolutely, totally free of charge. It's completely free. It's a little bit buggy here and there. It kind of doesn't, you have to open it to get its preset back and then close it again. But apart from that, it's like really good. But that might just be an Ableton thing. Right, now we got Kurt in the house from Nirvana. Right, okay. Right, so I'll just show you the So I don't know if you can see, but basically those are the tuners there, just on the back. That's how you wind your strings on. Very neat. If I try an A and B part, like this is A and B. Right, not sure what you mean there. I'm kind of writing roughly in, like, so I'm writing in the same key. Like, technically, all of these jams that I'm doing, Gramps, will fit together. Like, actually, like, if I play them. So that's one. Next one. Tell you what, just they're all in vaguely the same key. Doesn't seem to remind me of anything like jazz. Probably because my melodies aren't like strong enough, Gramps. Alright, yeah, so what I was doing there was, when we go back to this, is I just noticed that this guitar here, it's going to whiz us over there. Lots of woofy low end. So I've got two ways I can... That makes a big difference to the mix. That's interesting, you can mix the parts together. Yeah, I'm not. I think like just this morning, the way that I've got out of bed, I wasn't like I wasn't thinking of like writing a tune. They're just like short little jam tracks that I'm putting together now, just so I can play. You know, I'm enjoying playing at the minute. I'm getting a lot of benefits and a lot of improvements just by doing, really. And this is like one of those situations, which is something I'm going to be talking about when I talk about conditions of success, is just really, you've got to kind of put yourself out there naked, haven't you, and just do the thing. And that's how you quickly learn, that it's that kind of sink or swim sort of thing, jumping in the deep end, and trying to figure it all out. So when I started doing the live looping thing, which I've toyed with on and off, but never really made a serious commitment, it was kind of, I'm surprised it didn't occur to me later, but like, how do I bring along sort of all of my sort of music technology, music production experience that I've got? Turn the light up a bit here. Well, that's better, isn't it? How do I bring all of those skills and that experience in with my guitar playing? And that was sort of one of the questions I was trying to sort of answer, and do it in a really kind of quick, consistent way. And really sort of like doing the live looping thing was the decision that I made to do that. And Thomas was sort of fiddling about with some live looping, and I thought, all right, well, I'll have a look at the same time so we could share sort of our ideas. And very rapidly I put together sort of this template, which is actually based on my writing template for when I use guitars. It looks complicated, but it's not. It's just basically you've got. And the reason the drums are over here is because, like, on Ableton, you see the first 5 tracks on the screen. So 8 tracks. So the first 8 tracks that I see on here, I know are all guitar. And then when I scroll to the next 8, that's bass. And then the next one's drums, which I just have like already preset programmed drums for stuff. So I don't have to really worry about that too much. Although actually I do fancy just programming a drum beat today. So that's like one of the, and like all of these are like sort of problems, aren't there, that you've got to sort of investigate and solve. And when you solve them, you're in much better shape than you were before. So that's added a lot of excitement to what I'm doing. It means I can practice doing my synths, making music that way, and I can practice adding guitars to that. I can do just guitars. So it's brilliant. It completely, gets me firing on all cylinders. And I think the other thing that's really important about all of this is keeping yourself engaged and, beating the boredom. Because we do get, one of the things I find is just that boredom where you're in a slump and you're just going round and round and round, and the increments of what you're doing are much smaller than, say, when you're first kind of learning, so the excitement goes. And of course, when that happens, then it's very difficult to keep the consistency, because it's then you're asking the question, why am I doing this, Or, like Gramps' missus, what's the point in this? The other thing about the live looping, so it's a challenge, it keeps you engaged, and of course it's all tied to one major factor, and that's performance. So I can sit here and my music making is now good morning, Devian, how are you doing? My music making is more of a performance now, which is really interesting, because there's a great book called Robert Greene. Has anybody read Mastery? And then there's another really good book, which I'm always referencing, I can never ever remember the guy who wrote it, called Peak. Peak's really good, because that's the one where it's basically it's about a psychologist's study of elite performers, and they do a study of Top Gun Air Force pilots. I've mentioned this before, and I really like the idea of when they were training, they were videoing everything, and then after they did a training session, they went through all of the moves, and did, I suppose, like almost like wins, problems and opportunities on that, and just worked out incrementally how they could improve the tactics and stuff like that. So a very similar thing happens here. So after I do these streams, what I do is I as I'm going to work. So luckily I have a job as a full-time musician, so I get to do some more playing. So as I drive to work, I have a listen back to the live, what I'm playing, and then what I'm able to do is then just get a vague idea of the areas where I need to focus, where I need to work on, where the problems exist. And then what I do is I'll come up with little themes, ideas, or little kind of micro practices I can do during the day to sort of overcome that. And incrementally, you've got something to work off. And this is what I say about when you're writing music. The best way to improve is to release your music, because once you push your music over the finishing line, and what I mean by that is it's over the line of you can't go back to it and you can't redo it, then at that point, that's a good indicator. It's a good benchmark of where your skills are at, and you can learn a lot from that. You can pull that data apart, and then you know what you need to do next to improve. I've read a lot of Black Library from W40K over the years. What's that? Sounds good though. Will it help me make music, Meg? Oh, Warhammer 40k, right. Fair enough. I used to play that when I was a kid. I think what would be interesting is like the creative process that goes behind it all. I think that's cool. It's a UK, yeah. So that, the sort of creativity that goes behind that will be amazing, But anyway, because they've invented the entire world, isn't it? So it's just, it is incredible. You get a lot of inspiration from dark horror and sci-fi. Yeah, I haven't. Hi, Agent Block. How you doing, Agent Block? If you haven't subscribed, I'm assuming you have subscribed though. But if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe. I'm just sitting here having my coffee, right? In the studio. But I was playing guitar before. I was working really, really hard, I promise, but I was doing a bit of live looping. There's Push in the background there, lit up with some parts that I've recorded in. Oh yeah, hit the like button. I always forget about the like button, So, what was I saying? Yeah, so just incrementally doing something, especially if it's recorded, then you can look back at it and then you can improve the things that that you're wanting to improve. It's kind of there. And I think, a lot of the time, if we're not doing that, we're just fixing problems that we haven't got. And as I always say, we've always got to think about the zones of experience, right? Now, zones of experience is a coaching model I use. If I can find it. I'll just recap, right, on this for us. Sorry about this. Let's see. There we go. Zones of experience. I bet you didn't think you were going to get like a little flowchart spider diagram this morning. I know it's not very rock and roll, but the point of this is just easier than explaining, because I keep mentioning this quite a lot. That at the top of this, where we have connections, that's what we need to be thinking about when we're doing music, okay? Like, what are you connecting with? Why are you doing it? What is the purpose and what is the meaning? So really, that's the conclusion I've come to so far with my musical journey. So as you know, I've released lots of music, and through both electronic music and McRocklin Hutch, we've had some great collaborations, and some really cool stuff has happened over the years. Now, I could go around rinsing and repeating that, but then, my idea was like, well, what's the modern musician all about? And part of that is for me, as I want to make a constant connection. I don't want to kind of disappear and make music on my own and then release something. I want to be permanently engaging with a tribe, a group of people who hopefully some of which will want me to coach them at some point. Is the idea, and of course this does happen. I do get people coming from coaching, and I have a couple of groups, and it's great that that happens, and that comes from this channel. So my connection now is, the meaning and the purpose of this is to develop me as an artist. It's a great way to practice. It's a great way for me to improve, and it's a great way for me to experiment, and it's also a great way for me to share what I'm doing with other people, because I think at the end of the day it's important for me to give something back so we can develop our community, so music can continue past me when I die, and people can learn from this. And of course psycho version psycho version of the perfect fifth. Cycle fifths, but experience. A kind of. It's sort of like this, but I'm sure you'll see that. So basically, the most important thing here is the connection, all right? Now, what we tend to find is... what I would find is like punk bands, right? Would get really successful, or indie bands, and they would have crap skills and they'd just get to the top. And that's just because they were very clear on the meaning and the purpose and why they were doing it. And they had all of those things and what I call conditions of success dialed into a point that they were ready to go. In other words, they weren't really, their idea of quality wasn't the idea of my kind of quality at the time before I got coached. And what I tend to find is that I would find myself down here at the bottom. So... capabilities would be definitely something I'd experienced younger, and then I got myself moving. I mean, when I say younger, I was really young when I was in bands and stuff like that, but capabilities, obsessed with how do I do this, skills, knowledge, and abilities. So I would find myself, I'm not doing anything in front of anybody unless I 100% know all of these things, unless I know all my skills, know all my modes, can play them. But the problem with that is like everything is only part of an experiment. It's like a cake you're trying, music's like a cake you're trying to bake. And by just sitting there doing skills, knowledge and abilities and thinking about how I do this and doing stuff, what I was doing is getting very, very good at getting the ingredients together, but I was never sticking the thing in the oven to cook it to see if the cake actually came out any good. In order to do that, we have to go all through the process, and we have to make the connection, okay, to the outside world. You've got to do your solos, write your songs, get your band together, rehearse, go out and gig, see what other people think about it. Did the audience like it? What was the reaction? How did the song... you need to do all those things and making that connection to then be able to go back to things like, how do I do this, knowledge and abilities, to inform that, to ensure that you're not wasting your time doing skills that aren't serving your connection. All right? React to... where am I? Oh, I'm confused. Circle of fifths. Marcio Antonio, react to... Alright, please. What's that? Is it a song you want me to cover? I don't know. Or react, or I'm not sure what you mean there, Marco. So, I hope I'm not boring everybody. Alright, we've still got... do say in the chat that you find this interesting and useful. If not, I'll shut up. It's the name of an album, right? I see. Alright, I'll have to check it out at some point. You can start singing. I could, I don't fancy it. Right, okay, it's intriguing, right? And of course, actually, I think the other thing, this isn't just for guitar and music. I mean, generally, this is life, isn't it? When you're looking at things like this, and this is like kind of one of the things that, as a coach, that I specialize in. I'm stripping everything away and getting everything down to the core of like how we just manage our human behavior and get that right in order to set ourselves up to set the conditions of success up so we can get good and not waste our time. Like, time is valuable, and especially, you know, when, oh God, like I hate it when people say, oh, I'm too old to do these things, and you're not. You know, it's never too late to be amazing at anything. It's just in your head and how you just manage yourself, and stuff like this that you don't. I mean, I don't know if there's any other musicians dragging up you know, stuff like this and looking at things like zones of experience in order to improve performance, but this stuff is absolutely vital, and I know for a fact taking this on board, just even 1% of it will give you massive gains, you know. Right, so Mick, that's really, really interesting what you're saying there, because what I'd be interested is, like, would you say a lot of your music is design or art or both? Because I'm assuming that most of the time, right, hold on. So most of the time, as a producer, I've been making a track for a label, sign off the release, get paid, and haven't had much interest in making my own brand or name. But you must have been making your own music to the point of where you were writing stuff for other labels. The other thing that I'm interested about is, do the labels give you a brief in which you design into, and how much of it is I'm horrible at networking and building a community. Well, Mech, there's two of us. I mean, all I do is turn up and try and be me. You know, that is all I'm doing. It's a bit of a niche what I'm doing, and that's kind of on purpose. Yeah. All right. So other things that really pop out for me is, you know, environment. All right, environment. Somebody did call me a psychopath on the stream because my studio is so tidy. But, I mean, like, there's only stuff in here that I'm going to use. Because, like, anything else is a cognitive load, isn't it? And I just, you know, I mean, I could give you a studio tour, but there's not much of a tour, is there? It's like a laptop, 2 speakers, which I don't use on the live stream, headphones, but everything's of really good quality and absolutely top notch, so I can do the job, you know, well focused. Everything's close by and there is no friction, and it's amazing, like, how we do things, you know, like little things, not realise it and just put up with that kind of friction. Like, for example, I used to have my guitar over to the left hand side here, you know, so if I was facing the other way, I'd have to twist around, pick it up, lead would get you know. So, and honestly, I would just sit and just do that endlessly, right? And then what I would do is then realise that, why don't I just put it on the right hand side, and then my life became a lot easier, you know, and I was more inspired. But all these things and not having them in line and synchronised do put like a cognitive load on you, you know. So having a space, having a studio, having you know, somewhere where you can focus is really, really important. I used to have my studio in a cupboard, and it's like one of the places I was the most productive because it was just like in isolation. Do you have anything really? Yeah, McRocklin and Hutch. You can check us out there. McRocklin and Hutch. And then if you want to listen to my dance stuff, The Rain. Maybe if you go to Beatport, have a look at Beatport. Just like all the stuff will be there. There's a couple of things. The Rain was my dance stuff. The McRocklin Hutch is my shreddy kind of stuff with my other band member, McRocklin. So, my experience. All right. my experience has also taught me to mistrust labels and A&R people. The business is always way too much pay and play and fake traffic hype stuff. Never wanted anything to do with that sort of thing. Yeah, and I can totally understand. And I think like it just started for me, like being in a similar situation when I was doing dance music. That's what I found. I found there was lots of I couldn't. There was like loads of disasters that would have, if they hadn't happened, would have been great for my career. But people would have an opinion, and it was like I had to trust that opinion. And there was plenty of times where I disproved it. That what they were saying wasn't quite right. And what I learned from that is what I was told all along, was that you have to be proactive and not reactive. So proactive all the time. As long as you're making, the reason people become reactive, I think, is, you end up like that and precious over your art because you're not making enough of it. One thing I can guarantee you is like creativity is in abundance, right? As long as you've got dialed in a habit of making music, you can just make tons and tons of music. There is no end to being inspired. And with that in mind, it doesn't matter if you release something and nothing happens, or it gets wasted, or somebody messes you about. As long as you've got like tons of material to throw at the fire, eventually you're gonna win. Stuff actually happens. Just wait, the numbers will get you there. And of course, writing music is just a brilliant way. But as an artist, you need to be, in this day and age, prolific, and you need to be unique. So all of my Rain stuff, that was signed to labels. There was never anything self-released there. I've had those offers, right? Like, I don't do that. I've had signed NDAs and take the music I produce. Right, so that's happened a few times, and I've always thought that's just where the world gets murky. I'm just not keen. But it's good that you've got yourself, recognised to be able to get, asked to do stuff like that. But that mech there is another reason why I left the world of dance music. It's really interesting because you can see, like, from the beginning of my career, I was doing like big stadium dance music, and then as I was going on, I was just shrinking to smaller and smaller boutique labels. That's what I was listening to, and just to the point where I'd find absolutely amazing music, and only 500 people were listening to it on Spotify, but like it was the best music to me, better than anything where they had millions of plays. And then it was just like, right, I'm just now making music for a small number of people, so there's not really any point in kind of signing stuff to labels now. And that's where, McRocklin Hutch kicked in, because I wasn't going to shop about for labels for that. We're on playlists. Oh, I've got the one new retro wave release, but everything else is self-released, and that's been great. I think I would highly recommend every artist should just self-release. But yeah, so anyway, there's the zones of experience. And as I say, just for coaching, these are the areas that I'll work with people with. It's not just, we're not just designing a kick drum or anything like that, or doing production techniques. We're really kind of digging in, getting into the psychology of your capabilities, your behaviour, the environment that you're in, your identity. Let's get a firm, a clear picture of identity. Like, obviously, I'm like the guy out of Def Leppard today. Perspective and cognition, how you're thinking about things. So it's all like exciting stuff there, Right. Any questions with that? Yeah, so Mech, that's yeah. So you're self-releasing. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I can understand that, and I think that's kind of where sort of I'm looking at, because I just think like YouTube is the complete um, musicians, modern musicians platform. You know, it's got everything that I need on it. I can do a performance. I can, you know, release music if I want. I can release bits and bobs of content. So it ticks all the boxes, really. You know, I find it very difficult to engage with other social media and manage that. But I just feel like YouTube. I think, oh yeah, I'm at home here without a doubt. We'll have to go into the diagram deeper. Yeah. Um, so what you'll find, Gramps, is that diagram's just like imprinted into my head, right? And when I'm coaching people, these are the things that I'm looking at. It's a great tool for me to use to help me do diagnostics when I'm coaching people. Well, when you think about it, if a channel or when your channel gets monetized, it literally plays more than Spotify. It does, yes, or Apple Music. So it's just being patient. But the thing is, right, with my channel, I've been able to set a business around it. So, I mean, I'm not relying. I mean, this is why it's grown quite slowly, is because, like, I have a business that pays bills from the YouTube channel. But just now, I just want to see it grow a bit. Yes, so like so my other band, Freakstar, which is like my old band, there's there's a release coming out, isn't there? Soon, but the what was I going to say? We are doing the playlisting thing for that, so I thought, right, well, let's do the playlisting thing properly and write pictures and stuff like that, because I want to know more about that sort of world. And it's like, it's not good. It's hard. I mean, you just sit there paying money to use tools to find playlisters, and then you've got to then send each one a message to see if you can get on it. It's very similar to when I would release music, really, but instead of labels, it's playlisters. So lots of gatekeepers and lots of people that you have to pay to get your music to an audience. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Not all the time. I mean, McRocklin Hutch has never paid for any playlisting ever. It's just got onto them. You know, we've been, I was going to say lucky, but maybe it was a bit of skill there. But we did actually, you know, got playlisted on Mr. Suicide Sheep, new Retro Wave, are probably the two biggest ones, and then there'll be others as well. But we just managed to get on that release radar. And things kind of changed there, really. Oh, Deviant, what's my thought on Skrillex? Well, I mean, I haven't listened to Skrillex for a while, but I was really into stuff early on. That whole dubstep thing was really kind of a thing that I kind of learned to produce. And obviously, Skrillex was the forefront of that. He's definitely an innovator and very, very talented. So that's what I think about Skrillex. But I haven't listened to him for such a long time. And again, Skrillex is prolific. He's got his laptop in his hand all the time, making music. He's not, you know, he's just making it and putting it out, which is great. But actually, in like where I arrived with electronic music, so I did stuff in all genres. I mean, I've done everything really, but the genre that I ended up sticking with that I like the most for me is was house music. That's where I landed. That's where my career kind of started and finished with that electronic music, and then I moved into synthwave. But but synthwave's a funny thing to me. To me, it's just electronic music, because like a lot of things I did in house music, like that was genre specific, I do in synthwave, you know. Hmm. Oh, that's cool. So, yeah, so that whole dubstep thing's like cool, and you know, I've produced in all those, like, you know, I've done dubstep, I've done grime, I've done hip, I've done loads of like different types of hip hop. All right, melodic tech house. There we go, Francis. Francis, yes. So yeah, all of my stuff, like, so as my career was about to stop, when I was getting really sick of music, I think I landed on like tech house was the last sort of bit. I absolutely loved tech house, um, and it taught me a lot actually producing tech house. But it's great, yeah. And the melodic bit does help the tech, I find. So have you released much music, Francis? Anyway, in the meantime, because I'm going to have to head off soon and do my park walk, um, anybody who's interested in being coached, do send me an email and we can have a quick, you know, totally free of charge, half an hour chat on Zoom, see where you're up to, see if it's going to be a good fit. But I do have places available for the group. You'd only be in a group of 4 people, and we run the coaching group every week for 2 hours. So you get 2 hours, and it's $237 a month. Okay, so if there's 5 weeks, we do 5 sessions. But total value for money, I would say that you would need to be in the group for about 3 months to really kind of get what you're going to be learning and practicing embedded. But usually the retention that I have with people, that tend to just stay on forever. So I've had people on my coaching group for like 3 years. So the retention's pretty good once you're on. Because I think like part of the group thing meeting up is it becomes a way of making music and being consistent. And obviously you learn such a lot, and people are sharing ideas all the time when you're in that environment. So it's really good from that. Other than that, we've got one-to-one. I've got one-to-one coaching as well. So if you want a one-to-one session for an hour with me, book in for that. If there's any problems that you're experiencing and you want to kind of get over them, I am here to help. And then other than that, anybody who's wanting to learn to shred or is having technical problems on their guitar, you can also hit me up as well. I'm quite happy to do a little bit of teaching here and there. But as I say, coaching's my thing. So just any of that, just send an email, and we can get in touch and do a Zoom call. Other than that, do subscribe to the channel, and please give me a thumbs up, because that's helping. I do actually want this channel to grow, because it's good fun. I like doing my lives, and I like doing my live looping. So tomorrow, well, I'll see you all tomorrow. I think it's going to be a surprise. All right then. Everybody, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. All right then. Bye.